The Daybreak Show on Rock City 101.9 FM. Yes, and yes, and yes, this is the voice of the people from Ashiro, Abeokuta. Dele, Ayodo is my name. Welcoming you to Citizens Forum.
And I am Tobi Joseph. Glad you're joining us once again on Citizens Forum.
All right, yes, there is no doubt about it. The Nigerian Army and other security personnel have been doing their best, really, within the circumstances available to them in ensuring that the northeast region of the country is peaceful and good enough for people to live. It's my opinion, I always say this: a developed northern Nigeria, an educated northern Nigeria will bring education, peace, and development to the country. Therefore, everybody needs to support any good thing that is going on to ensure that there is peace in that area. But much as these people are trying to do it, there are still some elements of this Boko Haram insurgency somewhere. Well, some people have said, yes, they've been decimated, but they remain potent, just as what happened some few days ago in Adamawa, one of the states when the insurgency was very high, that was also top on the attack. But in recent times, Adamawa State has been enjoying peace well, following the action of Nigeria. But recently, the development is up again, where suicide attack and invasion of some areas in that state, particularly Madagali area, and recently as witnessed in Mubi. Is it that the Nigerian Army is overstretched? Those who are calling for Tobi, those who are calling for state police, even increased empowerment of vigilante groups, are they not justified? Is it enough time for state governments to invest on state policing, vigilante groups as a means of quelling this insurgency and ensuring that there is local or community peace, effective intelligence in the community areas? That's what we are looking at this morning. We'll be staying in Adamawa State in particular. First, we will have the Commissioner for Information and Strategy in Adamawa State, Ahmed Sajo, and later on we will also be speaking to the spokesperson of the Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Kukasheka, Sani Usman. We already have Alhaji Ahmed Sajo online. Good morning, my brother.
Yeah, good morning. How are you? How is Abeokuta this morning?
We are doing great.
First, what is the situation now in Mubi and other areas in the state?
The situation in Mubi is calm. The whole town has absorbed the shock. Our concern now are those that have lost, that are sick and in hospitals, and we're doing everything possible to assist them. And the community had also done a very great job. We mobilized people, and people went and donated blood freely and supported the sick. So the situation is okay, and His Excellency the Governor of the state, the brigade commander, and other security personnel are on their way to Mubi, and they'll be there any moment from now. There's going to be a town hall meeting with all community leaders, with critical stakeholders. Security men are going to talk to the people. The medical personnel are going to talk to people what to do in circumstances like this. We're assessing and evaluating the situation. Yesterday there was a Security Council meeting in the state, and decisions were taken, and the deployment of scanners to all places of worship are taking place this morning. We've taken proactive measures, but by and large, the situation is very calm, and those that have lost persons are just counting the costs.
Honorable Commissioner, the Sambisa forest, a large part of it is in Adamawa State, and people have talked.
No, sir.
Okay, but
there is Adamawa is on the fringe of the Sambisa forest, but Sambisa forest is essentially in Borno State.
In Borno, okay, it's on the fringe of the thing.
Yes, it's on the fringe of Sambisa. We have a common border.
Okay.
But Sambisa is not in Adamawa. Sambisa is in Borno.
Largely in Borno State. Good. Now, in recent times, there have been an increased call for the creation of state police and increased empowerment of the vigilante groups. If you look at what the civilian JTF did with the Nigerian Army at the height of the insurgency, this will appear to lend credence support to that call. With recent event in Adamawa, you'll be enjoying peace until this one resurfaced again. Will the state government, as part of its efforts to ensure that this stops, will you think along that line?
No, I think while I would not say that there should be no state police, but our concern, essentially is not about whether this police is under the state or under the federal government. What matters essentially is that there needs to be a stepping up of our intelligence gathering procedure. There has to be a lot of synergy between the security forces in terms of intelligence gathering and sharing. There has to be some understanding that we need a lot more intel than we need show of brute force, because this is a situation where you do not get an attack. From our analysis of the various insurgency attacks in our state, all the attacks come after a very long preparation and a very long study of situations by the insurgents. So we need an intelligence gathering mechanism that counters a lot of the preparations that they do, and then we also need synergy among the security agencies. Even if we establish a state police, if the state police does not work in synergy with the federal police and other security agencies, we will still end up with the same problem. So intelligence gathering, intelligence sharing, intelligence, commitments to intelligence reports on the part of all the actors, including community leaders, state government, local government leaders, and security agents, is the key to unraveling what is happening presently. I want you to understand that under the circumstances we are facing now, the militarily, the Boko Haram terrorists as a fighting force have been degraded by the Nigerian security forces. But that does not mean that the French commanders that have dispersed to locations in Borno, Adama, and other places would not be operating, independent of an headquarters that no longer exist.
Ahmed Sajo.
Yes, sir.
Now, reports reaching us indicate that the Nigerian Army has directed their officers to learn the three major languages in Nigeria, namely Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba. Do you think this will go a long way in this intelligence gathering that you are talking about?
No, I don't think. I think we are just making issues. I tell you that Major General Irabo is from Edo State. But today, there are few soldiers in this country that can walk the street of Borno and be treated like heroes, as we do to Major General Irabo. It has nothing to do with where you come from. If you are committed and you're doing your job diligently, you don't need to learn anybody's language. All we need to do is to work together. The service will tell you that the cardinal principle in Operation IS, which stands for internal security, the cardinal principle of Operation IS anywhere in the world is to win the hearts and the minds of the people. For as long as if you win the hearts and the minds of the people will become your shield. The people will support you. The people will work with you. The people will work for you. So this is what we are aiming at. The soldiers that are at the war battlefront must be able to win the confidence of the people that they are protecting to the extent that the people will identify with them and the people will support their operations. You don't have to learn my language for me to. If you want to learn the three main languages, go and learn your three main languages. If you come to Adamawa State, we're not using Hausa, we're using Fulfulde, we're using Fali, we're using Jani, we're using Bachama. How are you going to learn all of these languages?
Now, does that not continue to bring to the fore once again the argument of state police state police right now?
What I am saying essentially is that I think this oppressive argument of Nigeria divided into Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa is in itself a misnomer. We don't agree. God did not make mistake. God does not make mistake. Those of us that God has given smaller languages, we are not any inferior to those of them that have the larger languages. We We are all one people. We all also have our own rights. If we are going to teach our people Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo, you must teach them Ijo, you must teach them Shetik, you must teach them Kanuri, you must teach them Shua, you must teach them Bude, and all the other languages, Achama, so that, okay, let them learn every language in Nigeria. It's not possible. So it's not a question of language. It's a question of winning the confidence of the people when you are protecting them.
Now,
people know that this man is going to protect me. The people will not care where he comes from. And I give you an example. Major General Irabu is the most popular military officer in Borno State today. And he is from Edo State. He's not from Borno. He doesn't understand Kanuri. But they almost worship him. So it doesn't mean that you have to learn the language. You have to, and even if you learn Hausa, so what? So many people in Borno State do not understand Hausa. They only speak Kanuri. Are you going to teach the Nigerian Army Kanuri as well? Okay, if they go to Bayelsa, are you going to force them to learn to speak Ijo? Because Bayelsa people are not Igbo. So you teach them Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa. What are you doing?
All right, Ahmed, let's go back to this intelligence gathering as you have identified, yes, which is needed among all security agents and the community. What should the state now do? What is the state thinking about in assisting this line?
I told you, the beginning of effective intelligence gathering is synergy. What escalated Boko Haram to this level, and I will tell you, is that at the beginning of the fight against Boko Haram, there was a lot of competition amongst the security forces, which was very wrong. They were not synergizing, they were not sharing intelligence, they were not sharing the knowledge about what was going on. Everybody was operating as if they were fighting independent wars. But the moment they started synergy and sharing intelligence, sharing information about what was going on, things began to change. So increased synergy amongst the security forces, and then winning the hearts and the minds of the people to be sure that the people are interested are confident that they are being protected by the security forces. That is all that matters for us in this fight.
All right, thank you. The Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Adamawa State, Ahmed Sajo. We appreciate your joining us. Thank you. All right, you've heard his voice. He's just told us that the situation in Adamawa is actually calm. In the next hours, according to him, there will be what he called town hall meeting of all stakeholders in the state to synergize as to what to do on intelligence gathering in particular. Of course, we also heard his opinion about state police, which he says is not ultimate. Neither did he support the recent plan, or is it instruction, that Nigerian Army should be able to speak 3 major languages. He was counting those languages in Adamawa and said, wow. So
in Adamawa alone.
Just Adamawa alone. So which of them would they learn? And he just told us in Adamawa, Hausa is not the majority language. So for those of you who think Nigeria is made up of Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba, that's something.
That's another fallacy that has been debunked.
Exactly. We'll check this music break again. By the time we come back, hopefully we should be speaking with the Brigadier General Sani Kukasheka, who is the spokesperson of the Nigerian Army. All right, yes, you are welcome back. This is still the Daybreak Show, Citizens Forum on Rock City, 101.9 FM here in Belkuta. Yes, Citizens Forum, we are still looking at security issues, particularly around the Northeast, particularly in Adamawa State. Earlier on, you heard the voice of Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Adamawa State, Ahmed Sajo, on the situation in the city. We now have online spokesperson of the gallant Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Kukasheka, Sani Usman. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir. I'm sorry, Dele, you are pronouncing my name just like a cow does. My name is Brigadier General Sani Usman Kukasheka.
Okay. Don't worry, by the time I learn all the languages in Nigeria, I will be able to fathom me. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's understandable. In fact, that is the essence of the language policy.
Okay.
So that you will be more proficient.
Yeah.
Let's start from that language policy before we go into the main deal. Well, you're talking about proficiency, but some people have said Nigeria is not made up of three tribes. It's not made up of three languages. It's not Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba alone that make up Nigeria. And the fact that even me, some of us are minority, does not make us inferior to the others. So why then must you compel me to learn any of those three languages?
Uh, Thank you so much, sir. Dele, you have nothing to fear. There is no compulsion in all these things. As a matter of fact, it's just to give official endorsement what has always been ongoing, among the officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army. The essence of the policy is not to, elevate a particular ethnic group or language among the Nigerian component groups above the other. But it's something that has always been there to enhance esprit de corps and professionalism, as well as civil military cooperation. And we have found that actually, especially as regards to tackling the security challenges where our officers and soldiers are deployed, that there is need for them to learn the language of the environment in which they are deployed. So you see, some people tend to highlight some aspects of the policy, but the real sense of the word is just to enhance proficiency, the basic knowledge, so that people can be able to, gather information, interact, and have a fair understanding of the environment in which they operate.
That's interesting. Now, Brigadier General, the Adamawa issue is obvious, it's clear, apparent that the Nigerian Army have been able to degrade and decimate the Boko Haram. But the truth is that they are still potent in their ability to do this, their suicide strike at will. Is this not an indictment on intelligence gathering of the Nigerian Security Agency, our inability not to find out, discover, and identify these suicide bombers when they are about to plan it and strike?
And not at all. Fighting terrorism and insurgency, is a collective responsibility. The various component groups, the security forces, and the reality of the Nigerian public, as well as other stakeholders, have various roles to play. So if you are indicting, you have to indict everybody. But the truth is that you don't have to indict anybody. So, simply because if you look at terrorism world over, it kept on manifesting. When you are able to deal with it decisively in your counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism operations. And as time goes on, that you have degraded them, they will evolve certain systems to ensure their survival or relevance. And if you look at it, all these suicide bombings, they are wide apart. Agreed, we have had losses of human life and destructions of property. But the truth is that you cannot expect overnight, elimination of terrorism. So it's a gradual process, and we are on to that. It's so sad and unfortunate what happened in Mubi recently. And of course, you know what happened at the outset of Maiduguri. Luckily enough, two of the suicide bombers were able to say no, and teenage girls for that matter. I think it is a collective responsibility, and thankfully, like my elder brother, Adamawa Commissioner of Information and Strategy, Alhaji Ahmed Sajo, told the efforts the state government and other stakeholders are doing to complement the effort of the security forces. And we should encourage them in that regard.
All right, Brigadier General, one thing that Nigerians want to find out from you is the fact that what exactly is Abubakar Shekau? Is he dead or is he alive?
Well, that question has been answered, whether he's dead or alive, and I think there is no need to go further about it. If you recall, the Google interview, not even interview, the usual monthly media briefing by the theater commander of Operation Dele, he has answered the question. And there is no way, if you have a fair knowledge of where a terrorist is, and you will sit down and remain complacent. No, you can't. You just have to make sure that wherever they are, they are clear. So what we are doing now is an ongoing clearance operation, whether leadership or followership of the Boko Haram terrorists who want to have a semblance of peace and tranquility. Thankfully, we have been doing that successfully.
Now, apart from church operations or military operations in fighting this insurgency, how far has the Nigerian Army gone in winning the war of the minds of the people of that area psychologically? To Because many of these suicide bombers that are being used are presumed to be innocent ones, those who may not even have been entrenched members of the sect.
A lot is being done. First and foremost, you look at the various humanitarian activities going on the sectors of education and healthcare delivery. And in addition to that, there have been, stakeholders, security meetings with all the components of the society, ranging from the traditional rulers, trade unions, the government, and other stakeholders. And it's an ongoing thing. Just recently, the Department of Civil Military Affairs, in conjunction with the chaplain services, have also engaged the clerics and opinion leaders of those parts of the country, particularly I'm talking about the Northeast, where public enlightenment is ongoing. And in addition, also, we kept on engaging the public through means such as your radio stations to sensitize the public and also put in, information about what's going on in the army. Because we realize the more enlightened the society is, the better it is to, contend with security challenges as they are evolved. So it's a continuous thing. There are so many things that have been taken and they are ongoing, to ensure that we win the heart and mind of the people. And that is why you hardly hear any misunderstanding or friction among the society. And we have had instances where people volunteered information.
What are the strategies you are putting in place to de-radicalize many of these young teenage girls and boys that are being used by the Boko Haram to carry out these suicide bombings?
Well, you are talking about a process that is being handled by the federal government. Although I know it's ongoing and it's going on successfully, we never concentrate more on what the Nigerian Army is doing.
Now, the Nigerian Army is currently engaged in so many operations outside the Northeast. And some people have said the military, the army in particular, is being overstretched. What is your comment on this?
Well, everybody is entitled to his opinion. When you talk about the army does not on its own just come in. And we really appreciate that concern, but they should understand the peculiarity of the Nigerian society, particularly the security challenges that are being faced. And remember, Section 217 up to 218 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria provides for the establishment of the armed forces, and of course, functions of the armed forces, which includes, coming in aid of civil authority when put upon. It could be in terms of disaster management. It could be, contending with security situations, just like we have now that we are being involved in internal security operations that goes by various appellations, but we call it Operation Mesa. Yes, people will think that we are overstretched, but we don't work in isolation. We work in conjunction with the police and other security forces. Of course, society has greater role to play rather than stakeholders. How is to be more security conscious and think of alternative ways of, conflict resolution rather than allowing, groups to take arms against each other.
Let me take you away from the operations now into the barracks now. There's one act that is rearing its head and getting common within members of the army. The way they deal and handle people in what they call camo, military camo uniforms. It's been high-handed, at least from pictures seen as reports heard. Is this a concern to you?
Naturally, we have our rules of engagement. We have code of conduct wherever we are, either within uniform, within the barracks or outside the barracks, either in or out of the uniform. You have a soldier or an officer of the Nigerian Army conduct himself professionally. Unfortunately, what we have now, because of the proliferation of some of these uniforms that are being used by criminal elements, it gives us a lot of concern, because sometimes you will even see somebody with a three-quarter sun trouser with camouflage, color, and by the time he or she commits anything, nobody will bother to find out the real sense of whether actually is a soldier or not. And a lot of people have a good advantage of that to commit a lot of atrocities, ranging from even extortion to armed robbery and even further, and they attribute it to the Nigerian Army. Therefore, it will be of great concern. But that does not mean that whoever is found, wearing military uniform or equipment that is not entitled to should be maltreated. But we have established procedure, and where there is any infringement on the part of any of our soldiers, the appropriate measures are usually taken. But in most cases, you found that some of these people, they are not even soldiers. Like what we have now, where they were alleging some people were, torture somebody, drove him on a motorcycle. Now, we have people that have been impersonated, especially in Lagos area.
So they are impersonating the army and other soldiers.
Unfortunately, we are, being accused of such things. And that is why it gives us a lot of concern. That does not mean whoever is found committing one offense or the other should be maltreated. Nigeria is a democratic country, and we observe the tenets of rules as rules of law. So there are procedures for doing things, and every officer, every soldier of Nigeria is competent with that.
Now, lastly, before I go, for the purpose of educating those who are listening, of course, we have barracks here in Abeokuta and other areas of Ogun State. How should the army deal with that situation, and how should the response of the civilian be if you are caught wearing this military camo outside?
So that's the first and foremost. For the civilian, no, it is not advisable, and in fact, it is an offense to wear uniforms of the armed forces of Nigeria if you are not entitled, because the criminal code, the penal code has made it clear who should wear and who should not. And for those who are not entitled, if they wear and they wear it, these are the kind of punishment they will be meted out. And it has to be through the judicial system. Then for the military, we always make sure that we carry the public along, whatever we are doing, do enlightenment and make sure that we act professionally. And that is why anybody who speaks for their hearing and words should please take advantage of our information and call center with the shortcut of 193 using any of the network, GSM network, and it's toll free. Even now you can call it. So instead of taking over pain, home, grumbling and all that, if you see anything suspicious, please take advantage of it. Call 193 and definitely somebody will react to it.
This 193 is a toll-free line, I suppose.
Exactly.
All right, thank you so much for that information. Heading 193, that's the number. We must appreciate you, the spokesperson of the Nigerian Army, for joining us this morning. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
All right, you've heard me, never mind the way I call the name, Kukasheka, Sani. Usman is the spokesperson of that. Okay, you just heard him, but I'm sure one of those things that we test is the issue of this camo. For those who live close to barracks, you know what I mean. So many people are getting involved in that kind of encounter. Just like you have a toll-free line you can call if you see that kind of thing. You have been at 193. That's the number. And actually, penal code forbids you, if you are not a military person, from wearing those uniforms. I think we should agree with them. A lot of people use this really to commit crime. And for the languages, we said it is not compulsory. They are only encouraging their people to learn those three languages. That will enable them more. To be usually, or before now, I think my conclusion or thinking is that almost all Nigerian soldiers speak Hausa, because I see many of them either trying pretending to speak it, or some that are Yorubas. Go to Barak there at Labenwa, even if they're Yoruba, he pretends as if he does not speak. And so what he just told us is just to make them interact the more. And he agreed that the issue of suicide bombing is one thing that cannot be tackled by the barrel of the gun. A lot of ideas, a lot of tactics has to be used into getting. And for Shekau, it's neither here nor there, the answer really. But he believes that each time they have an information convincing them that Shekau is alive somewhere, they will go after him, but not categorical whether Shekau is
dead
or alive. All right, those are the submissions of the two people. We spoke with Ahmed Sajo, Commissioner in Adamawa State, and of course the spokesperson of the Nigerian Army. Okay, we have about 3 minutes really for this segment of the show. It's actually about 5 minutes or so to 10 o'clock. Let's just see. Do we have messages? Maybe we start from the messages, and when we come back, we can now begin to take your calls.
All right, Ebenezer from Kolobo sent in this message. Okay, this has to do with the quick take alert. We'll take it nonetheless. It's a capital no for me. What is the meaning of this rubbish? NFF must pay their money fully, not minute by minute.
Because you don't agree with it.
This is not a club where Cristiano Ronaldo get paid more over Asensio. Beware of what you're doing, NFF. World Cup is around the corner. Beware. All right, so this one says, no, I do not support it. It's a discouraging move by the NFF. Thank you. Honorable Mancod from Funab sent in that one. And this one says, yes, they want the best they want the best from the Eagles. Okay, I think that's a question. All right, that's the question we have now.
Okay, quickly, let me just use the point to explain for that issue, the quick take, to be minute by minute pay. There are different payments once you get into the camp. Your camp allowance is there for sure. Once you report, either you play, even if you did not train, once you report, you get your camp allowance and other bonuses that are accrued. The minute by minute is for the time played, the actual time you use on the field. You and I will know that we've had, in fact, it's in almost every match, you see some people being sub at 7 minutes to go. They play just for 7
minutes.
We have some who played for 3. We have some who played 2 minutes, and whereas we have those who played 90 minutes consistently. I think that's what it means, minute by minute, that it will now be prorated. So you now get your match allowance. That's what it means, your match allowance. You still get part of the winning bonus. There's winning bonus, but your match allowance for playing that match, it will now be calculated in the number of
minutes you
played. That's why it's not that there will be some people who will not get payment at all. And the truth, Tobi, is that right from day one, there are people who know that they will not play in the tournament. Yes, they are just waiting for somebody to get. Even if somebody gets injured, that will not still give them the opportunity. They know that from day one, but they are still a part of that team. So I think what they are trying to me is encouraging competition and total commitment. Yes, healthy and total commitment. We'll take this break. After the 10 o'clock news, we will be back.
Cut down in their prime as suicide bombers. We also spoke with the spokesman of the Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Kukasheka, Sani Usman, and he's of the opinion that a lot is being done by the Nigerian Army, even though people do not really appreciate it. But of course, a lot is being done to make sure that Boko Haram elements are flushed out totally from Nigeria's territory. Of course, he accepted the fact that they are always running helter-skelter, changing locations from one base to the other, from one camp to the other along the Sambisa forest. But they are doing everything possible to make sure they locate them wherever they are gathered, if such information is actually shared with them. He also collaborated with or corroborated what Ahmed Sajo said, that a lot has to be done as regards information and intelligence sharing, and that is one of the reasons why the Nigerian Army is encouraging or directing their officers to learn the major languages. How will this go in fighting insecurity and terrorism? We are yet to see that. Alright, don't forget you can be part of the discourse right about now. You can call the studio lines 0809-868-7344 and 0909-146-9670. You can also reach us via the short code 32120, or you have to just to type rock, leave a space, type your message, include your name, and send to 32120. Our social media platforms are also available. You can reach us on Twitter at RockCityFM is our Twitter handle, and RockCityFM 101.9 is our Facebook.
My name is Emmanuel, calling from FNAF. Very, very interesting. I think it's time for Nigerian soldiers to go into the market and start embarrassing those who are selling those uniforms, because they are selling it inside the market. So they should not embarrass people in the road. They should go to the market and embarrass those marketers that is selling those markets. I think that is what I have. Thank you very much.
0809-8687-344. Morning.
Good morning, Dele.
Thank you.
Good morning, Tobi.
Good morning.
My name is Dr. Nkom. I listened to both gentlemen, and the commission really tricked me about what he said about these so-called 3 major languages. I didn't know I had a friend up north who had the same view. Remember, Dele, there was a time you brought someone from Venezuela, someone from Ohanese and all that. I said it presently, and he could see the tone in the man's voice. He was upset about it. What the heck are you talking of? That all these 3 major languages. He said, please let us leave that one aside. And 2, I hope a lot of our listeners, a lot of people who call into this program, those people in Adamawa don't have that. They said, you don't speak Hausa language. We don't even understand it. So when people say, Fulani Headman, Hausa man should go, you are exposing your ignorance. That most of the brothers up north, they are not Hausas. They are not Hausa Fulani. So they are like us, so everywhere. Not that Hausa Fulani is not like us. We should get to know these things. If not, you expose your ignorance, especially those are big men here in the city who use this platform to call in and start saying what they don't understand. I hope they have learned Geography 101 today. Number 3, this issue of people putting on army uniform, must you put it on because selling it in the market? Why can't you avoid what should be avoided? So that's the only thing you can see, Abi. You can't see at the rate to buy. You can want to go put on camo. You see, we just think as you like in this country, and when they are dealt with, we don't start complaining. Put it onto your own peril, and when you are dealt with, if they remove your eye, you will not continue putting on camo. Camo is it? What is it? Why don't you avoid what is avoidable? Why must we always do that in the name of freedom of what? Who told you the freedom to put on a uniform, navy uniform in the street because you saw it in Kota Market? Put it on to your own peril. I think Dele also, finally, the issue of intelligence gathering, we must, that's the only way out. Intelligence, as you said, gathering. Even in America, despite sophistication, you see how these lone wolves, call that what happened in the movie, lone wolf attack, may not be that coordinated thing. Some people just wake up and then, oh, let us create havoc and all that. Lone wolf, those things are very difficult because you can't intercept them. You sit down in your house and plan what they want to do. But intelligence gathering and people knowing that whatever happens in movie affects us in Abeokuta, what happens in Abeokuta affects you in Borno State, then we would have been in the room. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right, avoid the avoidable. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you.
And good morning, Tobi.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Shola Johnson. You see, the mistake we have done in this country from our education system. If I'm schooling in Abeokuta, does not mean it's compulsory for me to be taught Yoruba. We should have taken some other two languages, maybe Idoma and Igbo, Idoma, Hausa, because across the state, that's how it should be. But we found out that in each state, the language spoken in that state is what is being taught in the school. So we found out that a lot of Nigerians don't understand other language other than their language, except those of us that have traveled to other places, then we're able to learn other people's language. It's not supposed to be so. I was taught Igun, Ewe, when I was in Volta region, and that place where I was supposed to be taught Fanti or Ashap, but it's because it's the predominant language they spoke there. I was never taught that language. I was taught another language from another region entirely, and that helped me. That is what Nigerians should do. That is what we should look into. It helps us right from our primary education up to secondary level. Thank you. Good morning.
All right. Let's add your voice 090914. Yes, somebody is on.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Samuel from Agbadu. You see, there are many reasons contributed to the inability of Nigerian security and defense officials to arrest the Boko Haram and all the violent extremists in Nigeria. One, inefficiency. Another factor is the problem of racism. This racism, they are using their capital, the 90% war resources locally in their possession to bribe, to book the operation of this criminal gang. This make all this operation crocodile unable to arrest them. Say for instance, whenever this operation crocodile go into operation, they only arrest marijuana smoker. This is totally unfortunate for Nigeria. The criminal, the wealth in their possession is beyond that kind of thing. Most of them multi-billionaires. Major public business institution in Nigeria today belong to these terrorists. Both the soldiers, the MRA, what do you call it? They just made them feel. So that is the reason why we want to fight these criminals. We must be honest to ourselves because they are threat to the police, security, and defense official and the entire Nigeria. The operation, the road action, is a threat to the entire Nigeria because they fall. Thank you.
Thank you. 0909146967. Hello. Hello. All right, your citizens from on Daybreak Show, we are taking calls. You can also use the short code 32120. That's the number to send your message to, but just type ROCK at Twitter handle. At Roxy FM is also there. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Dele.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Tobi.
Good morning.
Yes. Oh, my name is Usman. We are calling from Bodolube in Abeokuta. I listen very, very well to my two contestants on the program. But the question I want to ask my contestant this morning is that this bombing, we have been told that this Boko Haram and the military have wiped them out. This bombing is still on. Can the military find out where these bombs are being manufactured to save these people from carrying bombs?
The bomb they are using is the one we call IED, improvised, which means they are locally made. Once you are taught, you can make it, even yourself, you can make it once you are interested. So they are not like the ones that are brought in from the factory or anything. They are what we call the IED, improvised electric device. Yes. It's just all you need is some broken bottles, nails, and some things. You just pack them together. So anybody, once you are taught, you can make it.
Okay. And the second one is that can the military go as we normally do census, to go from house to house to search for these harms. Because some people, some private people that are not supposed to be keeping arms, these guns in their houses, they still kept it in their various houses nowadays. Is it not possible to enforce the federal government or to persuade the federal government to be visiting various homes in Nigeria?
All right, thank you.
That's my take this morning. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. At least we've been able to. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Calling from Abeokuta. Dele, I never knew you are an expert in local explosives.
I am not. Please, don't send the military after me, please.
In any way, thanks for the two resource people you brought on here this morning. Quite a lot of educative and analysis. And I think, my dear friend Dr. Kong took up from, I will look at the language aspect as well. As Sajo, the Commissioner for Information from Adamawa also rightly analyzed, we don't have to stereotype ourselves into believing. We know very well, but we don't have to stereotype ourselves into believing that there are just three languages. Of course, we always say three major languages. It's easier in the southwest, perhaps because Yoruba is more or less homogeneous, despite the various dialects. But when you go to other sections in the country, you know that it's not that homogeneous. Not a bad idea where you get to understand other languages, the major languages. Perhaps in the situation you will still have somebody who can speak that language to save you from the particular situation you find yourself. But perhaps that is what the Nigerian Army spokesperson is trying to analyze. Not a bad idea. But by and large, let me talk more on the camouflage. I think we've got to work on it on a continuous basis to avoid the abuse of camouflage and use of military uniform alike. There is a particular case in point in Abeokuta here, please permit me. It's in court now, but this is not a judicial discussion. A particular guy, though now called the suspect, gunned down somebody at Lene here in Abeokuta at the car wash, a trailer boy. That guy uses camouflage all around the town. He claims he calls himself soldier. He has access to weapons. He was, displayed to newsmen at the Leeway Road there before being charged to court. He was on the run and he was tracked down. Thank God that the Nigerian Police State Command was able to do the best in synergy with other networks to bring back these guys to justice. He has been using camouflage all around, claiming that he's a soldier, whereas he's a fake soldier, not a soldier, and he has weapons. He does Tokumba business and all other dangerous things. He's now in custody. I hope the Nigerian justice system will prevail and do the best to bring him to justice accordingly, and I hope the Nigerian justice, the state section in particular, will do the best to do follow-up on this guy's case. I hope his case will not be swept under the carpet. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Still take more calls. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, my name is Mr. Paul Obi. Yeah, I thank God for this morning. The issue on ground about language in the military is, to me, I think it's an advantage for somebody that was able to speak the three major languages. To me, I'm probably going to promote all these languages. To me, I know even in the UK, there is other languages you speak apart from English. They have Latin Americans, Arab Americans, but they don't promote those languages the way we do here. To His glory, I was able to speak those three major languages. But to me, I know even in China, they have other local languages. They don't promote in the way we do here. It's very unfortunate. And the way we promote all these three major languages in detriment of others. I think in Nigeria we have over 200 languages. And beyond that, I think the military should be able to change their tactics on this Boko Haram issue and the Israel bombing issue that has been disturbing the people that live in that part of the world. Thank you. God bless Africa and Nigeria.
God bless you. Hello.
Hello, good morning. Tweet. Soldiers' proposals for all their officers to learn three major languages in Nigeria, namely Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa, is irrelevant. Will that make them perform better? If yes, which I doubt greatly, besides what of other thousand dialects in Nigeria? Are there only Yorubas, Igbos, and Hausas in Nigeria? Okay, that's Ade's opinion. These are tweets from Yemi Da Vinci. Uh, this particular one says, how can we, okay, this is from Professor Agola AAA. How can we have adequate and proper intelligence gathering when there is no synergy and cooperation among security agencies? Too bad. Nigerian military must be more professional and scientific in battling Boko Haram. Old methods will no longer work. God will help us. Those are tweets from Professor Agola AAA. Samuel Okuye says a suppressed terror isn't a defeated one. This is an awakening of Boko Haram from hibernation. The military must not show laxity. Exactly, that's the point. True. However, it is temporary truth. Even scientific truth, like number of planets, do change. Boko Haram isn't defeated yet. Language learning isn't fit for the battlefield. Fighting is. Simply deploy many who speak a native language to such a locality. That is Samuel Kuye. James Ajibade says Boko Haram issue is getting out of hand because they have finished killing their targets. They are now killing themselves because they must kill. Yemi Da Vinci says, I disagree with the Adamawa Commissioner. There are no federal people and all policing must be local. The intelligence gathering mechanism the Adamawa Commissioner was talking about can only be very effective if handled by local police. There are some information and intelligence that cannot be conveyed by people because they don't speak English. The Nigerian military must be commended for the job they are doing in the Northeast. They have stopped more suicide bombers than this year statistically. The army should not be making local languages given the polarized nature of our polity and the diversity of languages. I beg, competence is competence in all language. If there was state police, the military would not be needing local languages and whatnot, as it would just interface with the local police. The truth of the matter is that Boko Haram would have been effectively tackled as a tumor if we had state police before it metamorphosed to the cancer the military has to come in to take care of. I agree with Mr. Obi that the military may need new tactics to finish off Boko Haram. Nigeria needs to win the peace to end the war. Those are tweets from Yemi Da Vinci. Samuel 63 says, if the headsmen are foreigners, is it that it's pleased our government to destroy our economy? If Boko Haram is using local bombs, why did the government hire bomb experts? To me, Boko Haram and Fulani headsmen are there on a hiding mission. Okay? 32120 is the shortcode number. Type rock, leave a space, type your message, include your name, and send to 32120.
By John.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. First of all, let me use this opportunity to congratulate our friend from Uto, Olatelani, today is his birthday.
I see.
Now, having said that, it is a truism that within the military, apart from the normal English spoken, you have to understand outside language. And I don't know, maybe this is why of all the Nigerian languages, the BBC had to choose Hausa. They have an Hausa program on the BBC. And, well, to me, our own is our own. I would prefer my own Yoruba and indeed a bad dialect to any other language. So let it be. Thank you.
All right, let's also join in. We are just being informed, Alagba Olakilani. Happy birthday to you. Your birthday mate is also another of the Daybreak Show parliamentarian, Adekunle Adeyinka. We call him Emperor. Emperor, happy birthday to the two of you. Thank you, sir.
This is coming back on this. The issue of hand should be a military or no military issue. I don't see Why is it to give them 18 months for the learning of other languages? That's one. So secondly, I don't see the point that visa is not bigger than this Nigerian government. Peter formally said. Ambisa is within this country. I don't see why some people will just hold in against ransom. The people that are importing ammunition to this country, they are within this country. They are not foreigners. Look at the perception of arms. They say it's right, blah, blah, blah. Can we now see the truth of life? Because the problem is that it's far from the north. Why do you suggest to be after all these agitations that have been captured, the parent has been tied down, this and that, and now the people is doing. Let's say that government find permanent solution to it. It's not the linguistic barrier or whatever, but let's find the permanent solution to Boko Haram or other terrorists within the country. Please. Good morning. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll take one call. More, just one. Check out if there are any messages there. Hello, who is there? The last for the week, for the day. 0909146967.
This tweet is from Samuel63. What are the efforts made by this government to end the Boko Haram mission? If corruption is fighting back, as PNB claimed, is Boko Haram also fighting back? Any government believes so much in propaganda will end in its shadow. Some military chief benefited in Boko Haram's menace during Jonathan's regime. Now, some military chief also want to have their own share of the cake. This is a bad strategy. Alright, so those are the tweets we have for now. And that is how we wrap it up this morning on Citizens Forum. Thank you so much, those who tweeted, those who sent shortcut messages, those who called, and those who just sat down quietly and enjoyed the show. And once again, we say happy birthday to Elder Olaki Lani and of course Emperor. We appreciate both of you. Thank you so much. We pray that this day will usher in more blessings, good health, and of course wealth to you and your loved ones. That's how we end our show this morning. I am Tobi Joseph.
And I'm Dele. Ayodo. It's a Friday. You can start the debate on right now. Whatever the issue is on the open day. Dele. Ayodo is my name. I say God bless you all. God bless Nigeria and God bless Rock City.